Okay, so I was watching over the Toyfare through Instagram. I was not there, by the way. I was just looking through Instagram and Toy Arc and, some other websites. And it was, they got some pretty good stuff to show at the Toy Fair. There was McFarlane, Mortal Kombat figures, and it looked pretty good. And I would say, the first figure I would definitely get immediately is Liu Kang. And then maybe get the Sub-Zero and Scorpion, but mostly one Liu Kang. I was really pissed when Storm Collectibles did the Liu Kang figure, and they had to lump that giant dragon with it, making it like impossible for me to buy it at an affordable price. So, this is what he looks like, and the actual figure in hand is gonna look very similar to that newest one. So anyway, McFarlane has revealed an awesome figure, a new one, which is Hawkgirl, and I have been waiting for this character to be made because I watched the Justice League Unlimited show, and I really loved that show, and Hawkgirl was in there, so really loved that, and I'm definitely getting this. And guess what? Articulated wings for the first time from McFarlane, so that is cool. And then there's Green Arrow's, what do you call it? Archer? Or just Green Arrow's sidekick. I don't know his name, but the figure looks pretty cool, to be honest. And then there's the next one, the Superman versus Godzilla. And it's actually pretty cool. I like the yelling Superman head. Also, it looks like he is sporting a yellow S symbol on his cape, judging from the reflection on that box. Problem is the belt. Really, they couldn't even try to paint red, or just skip the loops when painting yellow. Just skip it. Why? Whatever. So anyway, it's got a little meaty figure, and it does look cool. It's pretty cool. And it comes with a Godzilla, and Godzilla looks pretty good sculpt-wise. I'm pretty impressed with that. And then there's Supergirl, which looks absolutely awesome. All I can say is I am so glad I patched that Target exclusive Supergirl. So glad. This one looks way better. And then there is the Kingdom Come Superman. Finally. The Kingdom Come Superman looks pretty good. I think it's a good head sculpt. I don't see anything wrong with it, to be honest. And then there is Starman, which is interesting too. It says it's red platinum, which is a bummer because it would have been cool to have one. Now, this is a 6-inch scale line. This is based on a 66 Batman mold. And this one is the classic Lex Luthor. Actually, this is a Super Friends line. It's a new one. It's not the 66 line. This is basically a new one. So yeah, it looks cool. And Green Lantern looks pretty nice. Yeah. And then there is, at last, finally, Jim Gordon figure, which is cool. It's nice to have. It looks like it has some wash on the jacket. So that's cool. And then there's animated series figures. I don't have much interest in this because I think their scale is a little too small. They run a little small. If they were just a teeny bit upscaled, like Mapix size, then I would be on board with it, but they're a little too small. And then there's this Rocky Balboa figure, which looks pretty cool. I dig it, and it's tailored pretty nicely. And then there's Splinter, which looks very, very nice. It's probably the best action figure based on a Splinter. And that is a Super 7 figure, by the way. And then there's McFarlane Superman, the true classic Superman that all the DC fans have been waiting for. And, McFarlane should have done this a long time ago, right? This is just wrong. And the last, close to the ending of his contract, then he makes the classic Superman. That just feels wrong, And then he did this version, which is also long overdue because he did the Alex Ross Batman, the armored version, the Kingdom Come Batman, and this Superman has not been made ever since. It's been a year, which is ridiculous, and I'm glad they made it, and it does look pretty good. So yeah, I'll get that. What we got here is the Jaguars, and they look pretty interesting. I would say, it's the Avatar, the Airbender, and I don't know. It looks okay. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? And then Mattel has will make the Masters of the Universe figures, X Thundercats. So, and they look like they're in a different scale, and they got different articulation scheme going on. I have no idea, but they look to be about 5.5 inches, maybe 6 inches. I have no idea. I don't know, but they look cool. And then there's a different company that is also that is making the biker mice, that have been making the biker mice figures, and they do look cool, but I don't have much interest in these characters. But I am interested in this super villain for some reason. It looks really cool to me. So yeah, there's that. And then there's a Diamond Select Hobgoblin. And that looks pretty awesome. And I really like how it looks so far. So hopefully I'll be able to get one. Maybe. And there is the movie Wolverine, which is okay. It's pretty alright. But hey, it's 7-inch, and you can always get that to, match up with your McFarlane DC figures. And then there's the Beast Kingdom compound Batman Superman figure, which looks kind of cool, but weird pose. And then there's the what do you call that guy? Lobo, is that it? Lobo, yeah, I think it's Lobo. I like the character. He's funny. I can't believe I forgot his name, but he is funny and kind of a dick to Superman, but still funny character nonetheless. And then there's a toy company called Trick or Treat. Believe it or not, that's the name of it. Because I had to double check. I was like, what? Trick or Treat? What company is it? It's actually Trick or Treat. So anyway, it seems like they are making RoboCop. And it seems to be in about a 7-inch scale, close to 7 inch, 6.75 inch. That's what they're saying on the tag somewhere. And they look interesting. And they got the Crow from the comic book. He started as a comic book and then the movie. This is the true Crow look. That's how he looked in the comics. And it's pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. And then they are making a bunch of other monsters in that, 7-inch scale, I guess. Or they're statues. I have no idea, but I don't have a lot of interest in those. But they look cool, though. But I am interested in the masks of Ninja Turtles. They look absolutely sick. I want one of them. And it looks really cool. I'm getting maybe Rav or Mike. I don't know which one. But love those. And Marvel Legends has teased the new Maximum Spider-Man. And I really like the scale of Maximum Spider-Man. He is supposed to be at that height. It just makes sense. So anyway, this Spider-Man is 5'10", and it's a perfect height. So I like that a lot. That's a good thing. Bad thing is the unmasked head and the hands, the unclaved hands, they look a little too big on this body. And the head sculpt of Peter, kind of disturbing, to be honest. And it looks like Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage. That's what he looks like. It looks kind of disturbing. Look at those eyes. Jeez. But other than that, the figure itself with the masked head, it looks really good. To be honest, I like how it looks so far. It looks really nice. Not $50 nice, but still nice regardless. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. These shoulders right there, they don't look good. Not at all. And this is not $50. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't like those shoulders. But in this case, this particular Spider-Man, being the most posable, they have me by the balls, okay? So, I'm not gonna lie, I want this figure. I'm very happy to have that Maximum Spider-Man. It looks awesome. Now, this guy is out for pre-order right now, and I think he is still available. This is all new sculpt, top to bottom, completely new action figure, okay? Brand new sculpt, new tooling, and guess what? $25. It's got all the hands you need, the crawling hands and the fished hands and the whipping hands, and it's $25, okay? Now, let's look at the Phantom figure, which is like 10 inches tall. All new sculpt. It's got toe hinges even. And, it's only $10 more expensive than the Maximum Spider-Man. So, I don't understand Hasbro right now. I'm serious. I don't understand. Why are they charging $50 for Maximum Spider-Man? Now, let's talk about Mattel taking back the DC license. I was hoping that McFarlane would say something about this debacle. And finally, he started talking about it recently at the podcast, which is called Adventures in Collecting Podcast. It's on episode 163 at the Toyfare. And so he was at Toyfare talking about it. I didn't see it until recently. Finally came across this one at Reddit, and then I went over there anyway. So he was saying that he is negotiating with Warner Brothers right now, and he is hoping that they would let him still keep the DC license on some stuff. I don't know what, but I have a feeling that Warner Brothers will let McFarlane keep the DC license for Superpowers line. I'm pretty confident that they'll let him have that one. And maybe the statues. And then that's it. Now, when it comes to Mattel, I believe that they'll make DC action figures to look very different compared to what we had before McFarlane took over. Now, as you can see right now, Mattel, their figures, their toys, as a whole, it looks like they have different teams for each brand. So like Barbies and the WWF figures and the Masters of the Universe figures, they all look very different. And the Hot Toys. No, I mean Hot Wheels. So, yeah, they all are like completely different teams. They look like they were sculpted by different teams. So, I'm pretty sure that the team working on the DC figures are going to look very different compared to the wrestling figures and the Masterverse figures. And you have to keep in mind, and like, just compare Masterverse to wrestling figures, you can see the aesthetics look very different. They have different joint schemes, mostly, and the sculpts look completely different. So I think they are going to hire a new team to work on the DC figures, and they'll surprise us with that. And I think the scale is going to be around like between 6 and 7 inch. So it'll be like 6.75 inch. Gosh. So that's what they're gonna go with. When it comes to Mattel, I think they are going to use the height of that Bizarro and Ultraman figure, which are at around 6.75 inch scale. That's the scale that they'll use. I doubt they'll ever use 7 inch, because then the 7 inch collectors will not be collecting their current 7 inch figures. Anyway, enough of Mattel. About McFarlane, they still got years left of making action figures, and we should just focus on McFarlane for now. They'll keep making good ones for this year, and probably some real good bangers. So be on the lookout for that. Alright, so I'm done for now, and it went longer than I expected. What do you think of all this? What's your favorite action figure reveal at Toyfare? And what do you think about the Mattel and McFarlane situation? And do you think they'll let McFarlane keep the DC license for some things, like, superpowers, or what? Yeah, let me know.